Now, there are very many Kenyans who are extremely upset that Eva Msando, or Eva Buyu, the widow of the late Chris Msando, should accept a job from the government. You all know that she was recently appointed as a board member of the Export Processing Zone Authority, for 3 years. As a director in this board, as a director on this board, obviously she's going to have serious cash coming her way, at least for the next 3 years, sitting allowances and other things here and there. Kenyans are advising her, don't take the job. It's an insult to the memory of your husband. Because those who killed your husband are still at large. And those offering you the job know the killers of your husband. And they're doing nothing about it. And they will never do anything about it. Indeed, offering you the job is like a bribe, to make you forget about your husband. And to make you forget about demanding justice for your late husband. Now, my views are very different. According to me, Eva Buyu should take the job. And I'm well aware of the fact that most of you will not agree with me. In fact, most of you will say the typical Kenyan thing. Chris, who has paid you? Chris, you've been paid. How can you even suggest such a thing? Well, let me explain myself. And let us start by taking a deeper look into the life of Eva Buyu herself. Now, just a few months ago, Eva Msando, or Eva Buyu, gave a statement to the press. And it was a statement appealing, begging Kenyans to help her out. She said she needed any job, to be able to take care of her children. I suspect that Eva Buyu thought that Kenyans would respond in a very big way. The Kenyans who are always full of praise for her late husband. The Kenyans who always called her late husband, Chris Msando, a great Kenyan hero. I suspect that Eva was sure they would respond. But did they respond? You can be sure that nobody responded. Otherwise, if there had been an overwhelming response, you'd have seen somewhere somebody saying, we're one of your great supporters, don't take the job. But talk is cheap. Talk is very cheap. And talk does not feed the young family of the late Chris Msando. Money does. By not giving Eva Buyu a job until the government had to step in, Kenyans were just being Kenyans. The typical Kenyan attitude is Msando's a great man. We love the late Msando. However, everybody has got his own problems. Kila mtu ako na shida yake. Wacha kila mtu adeal na shida yake. Let everybody deal with their individual problems. Now, this is something very interesting about us Kenyans, and very disgusting in my opinion. Because at the same time that Chris Msando's children were suffering, no school fees, no basic needs, Kenyans were very busy contributing money and helping a man called the Githeri man. The Githeri man became an instant millionaire from nowhere, and he was receiving offers coming out of his ears from all over the place. I guess the Githeri man was also politically correct, because I can assure you, no serious entrepreneur or businessman in Kenya, especially those seeking government contracts, would have touched Mrs. Msando with a 10-foot pole, or even come anywhere near her, but there are no problem supporting the Githeri man. That's Kenya for you. And this attitude amongst Kenyans did not start yesterday. On February 24th, 1965, a very great Kenyan, a man who had given everything in his life to fight for a better Kenya, Pio Gama Pinto, was killed in what is today Westlands. Actually, his house was somewhere within what is today Sarit Center in Westlands. To build Sarit Center, the developers bought several plots, several houses, demolished them, and then put up Sarit Center. So Pio Gama Pinto's house was one of those houses. And he was reversing out of his compound with a VW car. And seated in the car with him was his 18-month daughter, 18-month-old daughter. Yeah. He used to love this daughter of his so much that he had the habit of, whenever he was leaving, she'd be put in the car, he reverses, then when he gets to the gate, the maid or the house help comes and gets the kid, and he goes away to work. So on this particular day, he stopped bullets. He was killed. Yeah. Indeed, this was the very first political assassination in independent Kenya. At the time of his death, Pio Gama Pinto was only 38 years old, and his beautiful young wife, Emma Pinto, went to their joint account and found there was no money. The man had been living from hand to mouth, and he was not corrupt like some of his colleagues and some of the people he supported, because had he been corrupt, his account would have been bulging with funds. So you're a young widow with children and you don't have any money. What do you do? Now, Pinto was lucky because a few of his friends got together and they founded the Pinto Trust. And people contributed to take care of the Pinto family. Yeah, the family he had left behind. Now, you'd think that the Kenyans, whom he had given his life, fighting for a better Kenya, fighting for them, would be the top contributors to the Pinto Trust. Well, if you thought that, you'd think wrong. The biggest contributors to this Pinto Fund, or Pinto Trust, were foreigners, foreign governments, like neighboring Tanzania, which has always been a poorer country than Kenya. Well, Emma Pinto is still alive, and she lives in Canada, I believe. Eva Buyu, take that job and ignore Kenyans. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.